Alright, this is Sean Sullivan, and this is my video on interval notation. So, to start off and show you what interval notation kind of means, I'm going to show you the difference between what parentheses are and these brackets are. So, in order to show that, I'm going to use a number line. So, on this number line, that I'll number through, let's say, 6 or 7. 1, there we go. So if I put a point at 2 and 6, and the dot is enclosed, so the point looks like this. It is not open. And then draw a line between that. That will be interpreted using greater than and equaler signs by x is more than or equal to, because it's a closed dot, which means it's either greater than or less than or equal to. It always has a equal to, versus an open one. An open one that isn't closed would either be less than or greater than. It wouldn't be equal to. So it would be x is greater than or equal to the number 2, and then x is less than or equal to 6. So, and a way easier way to write this is a way easier way to write this is x e, which I'll get to in a minute, but then you just write the bracket since it's greater than or since it's an equal to. If it wasn't a closed circle and it was an open circle, it would have parentheses, which I'll show in a minute. But so then a bracket 2, 6. Because you take these two numbers, and that's implanted there, and that's there. The smaller value and the larger value go in those two spots. So now I'll show what the difference is, why these are brackets and the other one is parentheses. So let's say we had the same number line. It was between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we did an open point through 2 to 6, just like we did in the last one. Well, you see, because this point's open, that means it won't be greater than or less than equal to. There will be no equal to sign. So then it will just have the regular greater than or less than sign. So to look at this, like what this number line shows is kind of x, since x is in between any of these spots, is greater than 2, not greater than or equal to, just greater than 2, and x is less than 6. So that kind of shows what that means. So these, since they don't have a or equal to, are parentheses. So this would show xe, which again I'll explain in a second. Parentheses, the smallest value 2, comma, the largest value 6. So here so now I'll show another now I'll show what this xe means. So E means in algebra. So E means is in or better or within. So E is very essential into how to write a interval notation. So look at this. So what E kind of means is in. So if you have x, E, and then the brackets like we had in the last one, just like we had in the last one, the brackets on 2, 6. So that was xe26. So xe26 means x is within 2 and 6. Doesn't that make more sense? And then since they are brackets, like we just learned, these brackets mean it can be 2. It can also be 2 or 6. Doesn't that make more sense into this? This xe would have made no sense to you before, but now you see it just means x is basically is within. So that's what the e means, is within. So another term commonly used in interval notation is u. So this u is translated into union, which basically means or. So it means or. So let's say you got this. You got x is less than 2, or x is greater than 7. So if you made a number line and wrote this out, and let's say we had this about 2 and 7 right here, and then negative infinity because it's going on forever, and infinity. So if you do it like this, so if x is less than 2, it'd be going all the way to negative infinity. And if x is greater than 7, it'd be going all the way to infinity. Does that make sense? Because it's saying less than 2, it's less than 2 and it's greater than 7. So this is what the two things would look like on a simpler place, like a number line that we're familiar with. So in order to actually write this out in algebraic form, we could just write, so of course we're going to start with xe, x is within, right? Now let's look at this. So x is within negative infinity and 2. So we're going to write down negative infinity and 2. And just like how we learned this means or, we're going to write down the u, which is or 7 and infinity. 7 and infinity. So that's what that u means, and that would be a place where that u would be seen and shown. Does that make more sense? Now I'll show intersection. So this symbol right here means intersection. So let's say you had something like this. So you had, let's say you had this. These 2 points. Negative infinity to 8. Intersection. And then let's say you had bracket, which means it can be and. It can be equal to it also. So 4 to infinity, which obviously can't have a bracket because you can't define infinity. So if you had these two, let's put this on a number line. So you would have 8 to negative infinity. So that would be negative infinity. So that's where that would be going, right? And then you'd have a separate one that's going almost, look at this. So it's going from 4 to regular infinity. So look at that. So doesn't this make more sense? Because you can see these two are intersecting. They're overlapping. So how you would find these, what that would mean. So how would you find, like, this is what you would normally start off with in an intersecting point. So you'd have to find the intersecting point. So you would see 4 right here, which is the lower one, right? So you can write that bracket. 4 and 8. So that's what this this symbol intersecting means. Doesn't that make more sense? Because you can see these two are intersecting. So that's what in an algebraic form that would that term would be used, intersecting.